I spoke to my church yesterday morning, told them what a member of my office had told me. They said, why are you so worried about speaking on Martin Luther King Day? I know you're a manuscript preacher. Have you not given speeches on Martin Luther King Day? I said, I've given 30-some years of Martin Luther King Day speeches and messages. But every year, as I've gotten older, I find myself looking at it from a different vantage point. I didn't bring my Bible up here. You see, I brought it this morning. I remember that when Martin Luther King was asked to speak at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., they had given him a time limit. And if you read history, he actually went over the time limit because that famous singer was hollering at him, tell him about the dream. So he actually expanded his dream. I guess that's the reason why he didn't read a text that morning. He was trying to stay within the time limit. There can be no reasonable doubt that Dr. Martin Luther King came on the scene of history and gave great impetus to the whole cause of civil rights in this country. He was not the only fighter for civil rights in the 1950s and the 1960s. You could find people in various occupations and vicinities, large cities and small cities, that were fighting for the same thing. But he came to be the personification of the fight for civil rights. Is America better off than it was before a young black Baptist preacher in Montgomery, Alabama emerged from a bus boycott as a national leader? It sure is. We sure are. I remember having a fear of heights, and I still have that fear of heights today, and yet in Greene County, when I went to the Capitol Theater to watch a movie, King Kong versus Godzilla, I had to sit up in the balcony, and I wasn't sure why. Have we as a nation in January of 2017, 49 years after he was assassinated, reached the promised land, fulfilled the dream, the vision, the sanctified imagination he so eloquently employed and proclaimed on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. on August 28, 1963? Sadly, the answer is no. But I can tell you this. He inspired, he instilled hope, what I'm today calling an instilling of an environment of expectations. He instilled hope for many in America. Everybody needs hope. Robert F. Kennedy, when I was about as young as the young man that just sat down, I was absolutely just plain infatuated with Robert F. Kennedy. I read all his speeches. I studied everything that he said. And there's one statement, I hope I don't bungle it this morning. It's about the only thing. I never could learn all those poems the schools wanted us to learn, but I learned when he said it is from numberless diverse acts of courage and beliefs that human history is shaped. Each time a man, a person, stands up for an ideal or strikes out against the lot of others, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope that, crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance.